Well, hello, back at the polls. It has been really crowded this morning. People are coming out and voting, and which that is a good thing. But it's slowed down just a little bit. So I'm going to take you all closer to it. I am Charlotte Bergman. I am the host of Political Talk of Charlotte. The line is getting longer now, as it has been in days past. People are coming out to vote. They're taking this election seriously, as you should too. Have you voted yet? If not, why not? Let me turn the screen around. Believe it or not, this is a shorter line than has been seen in the past. How are you doing, ma'am? Thanks for coming out and voting. Okay, guys. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. We're in the middle of election. We have about almost a week and a half to go before we get the results of who's going to control this nation for the next 4 years. So I'm Charlotte Bergman. I see that we got some people that are joining us, which is good. Let me see if I can turn things around and get a larger screen so that you can see what's going on. Hopefully I can. Yeah, that's better. Hello, how are you guys? Glad you came out to vote. Okay, I may have messed that one up. But as you can tell, there are people that are going in to vote. And you can probably see behind me, there are long lines of people that are taking their time and they're planning to vote. And hopefully they will vote for the right people to govern our country. Before I go any further, what I want to do is I want to discuss with you all some of the interesting things that are occurring right now. And I am in the field, so if things don't look right, if I don't have a good background, that's okay. You know, I wanted to discuss with you guys some of the things that are occurring. I went to Real Clear Politics. Hi, how are you, sir? Um, no, I have not. I'm sorry. They probably hadn't gotten back yet. All right. I read this article. Even Democrat voters show signs of buyer's remorse over parties' unprecedented electoral moves. Yeah, there are various polls that are showing that Democrats are having buyer's remorse. As of election day, as election day looms and polls tighten up, a solid majority of Americans remain unhappy with the Democrat Party's machinations to remove President Joseph Biden as its candidate and replace him with Vice President Kamala Harris. And it's not strictly partisan. Many Democrats are also upset at how the party switched candidates. They're not happy about that. There are a lot of Democrats that aren't happy about that. I'm not sure that's going to make them change their vote, though. But we will see, hopefully, on November the 5th, if all of the numbers come in. Harris continues to struggle. She's having some really bad experiences. She doesn't seem to know how to interview. She doesn't seem to know how to communicate her message. And the reason for that is because what they have to offer, or she's finding out that what people value in California is not what people value across this nation. So therefore, she has to kind of pretend what she believes in. As she continues to struggle, the national online polls of 1,240 registered voters indicated that they have widespread disappointment with the Democrat Party's maneuver to get rid of the age-impaired Biden last July. So they didn't want Biden to be removed. And one of the reasons they didn't is because they're having buyer's remorse. Now, if Kamala had come out and she had been a superstar, a rock star, they probably wouldn't be having these problems. So 2 weeks before the meltdown begins, Donald Trump will win. This is what it's been discussed. And he will win convincingly. And this is what I have been hearing from a lot of different sources. But that doesn't mean the progressives left won't have a meltdown just as in 2016. They are really going to have a meltdown. More importantly, I would not be surprised if they would not cause a lot of bad maneuvering and bad things to happen. Um, when Donald Trump was first elected president, the media was dismayed. The Democrats were shocked. And we're anticipating that there are going to be protests in the streets. The media is going to be just as dismayed, and the Democrats are going to be just as shocked as they were in 2016. And those protests in the streets, we know they're going to be violent. Congressional Democrats such as Jamie Raskin were trying to prevent Trump from being sworn in by declaring him as an insurrectionist. Okay, he's considered an insurrectionist because he invited people to Washington, D.C. That's just like you throwing a party at your house and inviting people to come to your house. And then if anything happens, they want to blame you for it. No, it don't work that way. 7 so-called battleground states are supposed to decide the election. That's Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona. But even more importantly will be the experiences of the American people who, in large measure, have come to regret the election that put Joe Biden in the White House 4 years ago. And sure enough, there are a lot of people who realize that they don't have money in their pockets anymore, and they're regretting that election. Donald Trump's got the edge for now in terms of the election. Maybe not in Shelby County, but throughout the country, he's got the edge for it. And I'm going to discuss with you later what that means. Voters think he did a better job on the economy and foreign policy. He kept us out of wars, and people had money in their pockets. But some people are saying, but don't count Harris out. And it's not so much that Harris is incompetent, because she is, that she presided over an administration, presided with an administration that put us in debt, that caused inflation to get out of hand, that caused prices to be so high that people don't have money anymore. No, but the machine behind her will do the work to get her elected. See, the question is simple. Who's going to win in November? The answer is complex because it derives from a mix of many different trends and campaign efforts that must come together to produce a single result. At this point, Donald Trump has an edge, but that edge could easily disappear. If Kamala keeps interviewing like she has been doing and keep making mistakes and keep telling people who come to her concert, people who believe in Jesus, that Jesus is Lord, if she keeps telling them that they're at the wrong concert, who knows? It might come home to bite her. Trump holds a 12-point lead over Kamala Harris, in which candidates would do a better. Okay, Trump holds a 12-point lead over the question asked which candidate would do a better job on immigration. And he holds a four-point lead on both inflation and crime, according to the October 2024 Howard CAPS Harris poll. Such core domestic issues are usually what determines who get elected. And Mr. Trump holds a lead in all three of his election cycle's top concerns. The second reason for Mr. Trump's advantage is that voters have more confidence in him on the issues of war and peace. And it scares me. I mean, you would think that when Sinwar was killed by the Israelis, that Hamas and Iran would come to the table to negotiate stopping the war, but no, no. They are continuing the war. They actually tried to assassinate Netanyahu at his home. Okay, so they're saying, nope, nope, no peace. We keep it going. 70% of us believe Trump's sufficient experience in foreign affairs, and he leads significantly in polling about which candidate would do better, uh, do a better job on the war in Ukraine, relations with China, and the war between Israel and Hamas. Hi. So here's what Real Clear Politics election 2024 says. So there is a national average. Trump has 48.3, and Kamala leads by a plus 9.9%. She has a 49.2% lead. Top battleground states, Trump leads by 48.4, Kamala leads by 47.4. So Trump has a 1 point lead, a solid 1 point lead. And the average has Trump as the Real Clear Politics. Trump winning by 59%. Kamala has a 39.8% chance of winning. So doesn't look like she has that much of a win that she would defeat. I got Cohen on my mind, guys, because he needs to go. And y'all hear me? Cohen needs to go. Okay, in terms of the Electoral College, and this is what is most important for presidential candidates, the Real Clear Politics electoral map, when there aren't any toss-up states in the final results, Trump leads by 312 electoral college votes, and Kamala leads by 226, and they both need. Trump is leading, and I tell you, he's working his high part off. He is everywhere. Okay, in Michigan, Trump has a 1.2 point lead. In Pennsylvania, he's got a 0.8 lead. Wisconsin, a 0.2 lead. Arizona, a 1.6 lead. North Carolina, a 0.5 lead. And Georgia, 0.8 lead. Now, that number, all of those numbers were favoring Kamala. Now the numbers are favoring Trump, and we're getting down to just a couple of weeks before the election. So I'm turned around and I'm looking, and people are still there. They're voting, they're in line, they're waiting patiently for their turn to vote. I voted, and when I voted, I was amazed at how short the ballot is. So people can get in and out with no problem. If you hadn't voted, I need you to vote. I need you to vote. I need you to crawl on nails if you have to get to the polls to vote. Your grandchildren are going to ask you years later, what was it like in America when men were free if you don't get out and vote? And you're going to have to give an account of that. So anyway, this is an impromptu show, and it is short intentionally. I don't plan to talk to you very long, but I do want you to know that you need to get out and vote. I implore you, I beg you to get out and vote. Let's make this election too big to rig. Let's fight for our freedom like our Americans did in the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, not with guns, but with our ballot. So thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you guys later. This is Charlotte Bergman with Political Talk of Charlotte. I am at the polls. And again, I want to show you what it looks like and kind of pan around and let you see all of those cars if you can. It's a bunch of cars out here. So take care. Bye. I love you. Let's vote.